Hey everybody, my name is Ed. Okay, we're going to have another trade review. This time we are going to do Flex Mentallo by Grant Morrison and Frank Quietly. Man of Muscle Mystery. This is from DC Vertical. Let's see here. Where do we start? For a long time, this comic book was, or this trade, you couldn't get this in trade. This is basically the collected miniseries, four-issue miniseries that was released in the mid '90s. And let's see here. Let's see here. You couldn't get it. Well, let's go back. Let's go back. Basically, the character originally appeared in Doom Patrol during Grant Morrison's run, and what this character is, he's basically a parody of these old Charles Atlas ads that used to run in comic books that actually ran in comic books for a long time. For people who don't know, Charles Atlas was this bodybuilder back in the 50s, and he would put these ads in comics to buy his books, take his course to, lift weights and, learn how to bodybuild. And anybody who's seen these ads knows what I'm talking about. It was basically this comic strip, and the strip was this guy, he's at the beach with his girlfriend, and this bully comes up and he kind of manhandles him, and then the girl like leaves, and so the guy goes home, and there's a panel where he's like kicking things around, and he's like, I'm tired of being a wimp, I'm gonna send away for Charles Atlas's book. And then the next panel is, it's whatever, a few months later, and he's posing in front of the mirror, and he's all muscle bound or whatever. Then the next panel is he goes back to the beach, and he punches the bully in the jaw. And then the last panel is he's kind of standing there, his girlfriend's come back, and there's a big title, Hero of the Beach. And then there's a photo of Charles Atlas. Um, and yeah, these ran in comics for a long, long time. I'm not sure exactly when they started. I'm guessing the late 50s, but you would pick up a random comic in the 60s and the 70s, and even, and you would see that ad. So basically, Flex Mentallo was kind of a parody of that. And when he appeared in Doom Patrol, his shtick was he would like flex. He would flex his muscles and things would happen. He would change reality or cause things to happen just by standing there flexing. So what happened in real life is at some point when those miniseries first came out, uh, um, Charles Atlas's estate found out about it somehow, and they brought a suit against DC. I think DC won the suit. I think they either won the suit or they had it thrown out just uh, on the basis of fair use. Like, everybody knows this is a satire, so on and so forth. So, but after that, like I said, you couldn't get this in trade for a while, and I don't think it was a case of like they were legally prevented from doing it. I think maybe they just said, why bother? Why go through a hassle again or something like that. That's what I'm assuming. I don't know, but yeah, but now it's back in print, and let's talk about it. So the premise is there's basically two storylines going on. One storyline is Flex and has somehow found himself in our world, I guess. Him and all the other superheroes and villains and whatnot from the comic book world or whatever that Flex originally inhabited has bled over to our world. He has to kind of figure out what's going on, and he's trying to find his friend, the answer of Cheapers. He's trying to find his friend to get to the bottom of everything that's going on, and we basically see his kind of journey, how things are kind of similar, but they're also kind of different. And like I said, we see him dealing with that. At the same time, there's this other guy who was this musician or whatever and he's broken up with his girlfriend. He's trying to commit suicide. So he's taking all the drugs in the house and all sorts of pharmaceuticals and things like that. And he's sitting in the alley, and he's called up some like chat line or whatever. And he's talking to some person on the other line. And he's like, "No, I'm trying to commit suicide. I'm going to die. I just want to talk about something that was happy for once in my life. I'll talk about the comic books that I read growing up as a kid." And eventually the kind of storylines kind of converge when you get closer to. I said Flex's friend's name was the answer. It's not the answer, it's the fact. But anyway, as we follow Flex as he's going on his journey, it's an interesting thing that you can kind of see. It's kind of a commentary on where comic books were at that particular time. This came out originally in the late 90s, mid 90s, like 96, 97, something like that. And we're kind of on the tail end of the whole sort of grim and gritty phrase. And like I say, you can kind of see this as a kind of commentary on that, sort of. Um, Flex is walking around. He's meeting various people. Some people believe in superheroes, some people don't. He's meeting other superheroes, but they're a lot seedier, they're a lot darker, they're a lot stranger than he remembers them from being in his time. And it was the same thing, and there was, or not the exact same thing, but when the young guy was committing suicide and he's reminiscing about the old comics, he's saying things like, "Oh wow, yeah, a lot of these comic books were silly and goofy and things like that. But what's wrong with that? Why do we have to run away from that? Why don't we embrace that and cherish that? I mean, even though they were silly and didn't make sense, they still, engage your imagination and things like that." And and like I said, it's interesting because this came out, like I said, the mid late '90s. This is right around the time that Kurt Busiek and Alex Ross did Marvels for Marvel Comics, of course, and then Alex Ross did Kingdom Come with Mark Waid. Both of those stories, just like this, were kind of stories that kind of looked back at, like I said, the kind of campier Silver Age and early Bronze Age comics, and kind of had a wistful appreciation for those type of comics. There's even a line where somebody in this particular comic book says, like I said, commenting on the comics of the time, only an adolescent would confuse pessimism for realism. So, like I said, I think it's really interesting. For the most part, I enjoyed the story. I think Grant was trying to do something really ambitious here. I'm not so certain that he really hit all the marks he was trying to. I think he was trying to do this kind of metatextual thing where, it's a comic book, it's a comic book about comic books, and the storytelling, comments on itself. And like I said, it does. Oh, and I think he also was trying to do this sort of thing that you will see in like comics. You see a lot in movies and film where it's, is it real or is it a dream? Which part of the story is the real world? Which part of the story is the fantasy world, and so on and so forth. Like I said, I don't think he 100% pulled it off, but I think he came pretty close. I really enjoyed it. Um, I'm not sure how somebody that's not familiar with comics would enjoy it. I think somebody could read this who's never read comics before and get something out of it, just on the sense that it's a trippy head case, but or trippy head case, crazy head trip. I guess that's what I wanted to say. But I think the more you know about comics, the more you'll probably enjoy it and kind of get a lot of the kind of like throwaway gags and non sequiturs. There's a lot of stuff that's played off like it's a hallucination, but like I said, it's obviously a commentary on certain things that have gone on at comic books in the past and were going on then. There's references to older comics, there's references to like Crisis on Infinite Earths, there's references to uh, media ads that were appearing, or articles, I should say, that were appearing during the time. Comics aren't for kids anymore, and that type of thing. I really like Frank Quietly's art. I don't think it's for everyone, but I enjoy it. Talking about comic books as an art form and as a medium, there's a lot of stuff going on here that you could only do in a comic book. It really wouldn't work the same way in live action. And I think that helps the storytelling. And I think it does a good job of just kind of drawing you into this world that may or may not be real. And like I said, I dig the whole thing of there's all kinds of references to comics, the superhero genre, and like I said, even though it is not 100% successful, it hits more than it misses. I kind of like these the covers to the single issues where they make it look like here it looks like something that was probably a library book at one point. There's a funny thing here. Let's see if I can find it. This is obviously a parody of Dark Knight Returns. And the gag is it looks like it was somebody's signed copy. But then right here, it looks like somebody. I mean, this is fake, obviously, but you've got these little price stamps on here, as if somebody had bought this used in a bookstore somewhere. So, yeah, really enjoyed it. Like I said, it's weird, it's trippy, it's fun, and for all the weird darkness in the story, it actually does end on a hopeful and optimistic note. So, yeah, okay, I guess that's it. I gotta thank you very much for watching, and you guys have a good day.